and ocean current are the heartbeat pretty much, and the circulatory system of the Earth. My name is Maia Marinelli. I'm originally from Italy, and this piece is somewhat inspired by my childhood living and working on sailboats since I was 5 years old. I have started working previously on the idea of how to represent an isobar. An isobar for me were focus of attention and my way of reading the space around me when I was working on sailboats and when I was competing on sailboats. What isobar are this imaginary line that represent the same point of pressure as sea level. So you can look at a meteorological map and you see the isobar moving and changing shape and changing the distance between one another, and based on that you can define what the weather is going to be like, what the wind is going to be like, how strong and from which direction, and basically it's wind spilling out and going towards the again in a spiral movement, and it's, kind of spiraling on itself, going into from low to high pressure. And then again there's another cycle which is again like a spinning cycle, which is low pushes air down, air goes into high pressure, and high pressure goes up, then it gets to cold air and it comes down. So I was looking at a way of using an aesthetic that was somehow connected to water and sea, and at the same time poetic enough that it would be able to represent this phenomenon. The aesthetic of this piece sort of started with me looking at the core of how air works and how energy works. As I was developing the work, I just realized that there were so many primordial structure and primordial behavior surfacing, like lungs breathing, or like corals when they actually open up and close and they're trying to get oxygen, or plankton underwater when the current is going through. They sort of, there's like some primordial movement in this work that I was sort of, some of it I was planning for and some of it just kind of came naturally by just working with very basic information.